Hi there, class 10 students studying NCERT book First Flight. I, Harpreet Kaur from English Frog Club, have come up with another chapter from your course book today. The name of the chapter is Two Stories About Flying, and we are going to do his first flight part 1 of the chapter first. So without wasting any time, let's move straight into the explanation of the chapter. Are you ready to learn with me? Why to wait? Let's proceed. Let's begin with the reading of the chapter. The young seagull was alone on his ledge. His two brothers and his sister had already flown away the day before. So here we are going to learn something about this young seagull. What is seagull? Seagull is a bird. So where is this young seagull? He is on his ledge. Now what is ledge? Ledge is a natural kind of horizontal shelf on a cliff. Cliff is a big stone. Okay, cliff is just hill is the bigger than the cliff. Now let's see what is the problem here. His two brothers and sisters had already learned how to fly. Now this seagull has not learned yet how to fly. What is the reason behind? Let's read further. He had been afraid to fly with them. So the reason is here that he is afraid of flying in the sky all alone. So he is not able to have courage to open up his wings and fly in the sky. Somehow, when he had taken a little run forward to the brink of the ledge and attempted to flap his wings, he became afraid. It's not that he is not trying, but when he is moving to the brim of the ledge. Now, if let us say if this is the ledge and if he is moving from here and then when he reaches to this brim is the end part of the ledge. And from here he need to have a flight, but what is he afraid of? He is afraid of this valley. He is afraid that if he won't be able to fly in the sky, then what will happen to him? He'll just come down. Okay, he'll just get down and he might die because of dying. So this is why he is not able to fly in the sky. The great expanse of sea stretched down beneath, and it was such a long way, miles down. He felt certain that his wings would never support him. So what is the problem? He is feeling that his wings would never support him, as there is sea underneath and there is the distance between the sea and the ledge is quite long, quite lengthy, and it is quite long distance. His wings might not support him to fly in the sky and he will be falling into this sea. So that is why he is not able to fly. He gets scared of flying in the sky. He felt certain that his wings would never support him, so he bent his head and ran away back to the little hole under the ledge where he slept all night. Even when each of his brothers and little sister, whose wings are far shorter than his own, ran to the brink, flapped their wings and flew away, he failed to muster up courage. Muster up courage means to collect courage, to gather courage, collect or gather courage. He was not able to gather his courage, even when he has seen that his brothers and sisters who are younger to him, they have smaller wings than him, they are able to fly, but he still could not gather courage to attempt how to fly, to take the plunge which appeared to him so desperate. Okay, so he is not able to plunge into the sky to fly in the sky. His father and mother had come around and called him shrilly, upbraiding him. Upbraiding him means they were scolding him. Okay, upbraiding him stands for scolding him, threatening to let him starve on the ledge unless he flew away, but for the life of him he could not move. So his father and mother tried everything to encourage him, and they even tried everything like threatening him, scolding him, and they just told him that they are going to leave him there only and they will be moving to another place without him only. But nothing worked on the seagull, on the young seagull, and he wasn't able to fly. That was 24 hours ago. Since then, nobody had come near him. So it is now one day that no member of the family has come near him. The day before, all day long, he had watched his parents flying about with his brothers and sister, perfecting them in the art of flight, teaching them how to skim the waves and how to dive for ship. He had in fact seen his older brother catch his first herring and devour it. So the herring is a fish here. So he has seen his brother catching the fish also. He is watching everything, how the family is flying in the sky and they are diving down into the sea and catching the fish, and he has seen that his brother has become successful at catching the fish, and but he was hungry, but still he was not gathering courage to go and try his flight. And all the morning, the whole family had walked about on the big plateau midway down the opposite cliff, taunting him with his covered eyes. Now they have tried the other ways. Now they have started using the way of taunting him. Maybe with this he'll gain courage, and in his anger he'll just come to the end of the cliff, at the brim of the cliff, and open his wings and start flying in the sky. Let's see further what's there in the story next. The sun was now ascending the sky, blazing on his ledge that faced the south. He felt the heat because he had not eaten since the previous nightfall. Okay, now the sun is shining brightly and he is feeling the heat of the sun. Moreover, he is also hungry, and he is not able to bear that heat also because he is empty stomach. He stepped slowly out to the brink of the ledge, and standing on one leg with the other leg hidden under his wing, he closed one eye, then the other. So now in this paragraph we are seeing his attempt to fly in the sky, and as he was very hungry, he needed something to have, so he tried to come to the he had gained this courage. He had gathered the courage, and he came up to the brink of the ledge. So he stepped slowly out of the brink, and then he just stepped out there. He closed his one eye, then he closed his other eye, and then he pretended to be falling asleep. Okay, and then he showed his parents that he was falling asleep as if he was sleeping. Still they took no notice of him. He saw his two brothers and his sister lying on the plateau, dozing with their heads sunk into their necks. His father was preening the feathers on his white back. Okay, preening, that he was making an effort to maintain the feathers. He was trying to keep his feather clean, so he was doing that. His brothers and sister were sleeping. His father was preening his feathers on his white back, and only his mother was looking at him. She was standing on a little high hump on the plateau. No one else in the family except the mother was noticing him. Where was she? She was standing on a little high hump on the plateau, her white breast thrust forward now and again. She tore at a piece of fish that lay at her feet, and then scraped each side of her beak on the rock. The sight of food maddened him. How he loved to tear food that way, scraping his beak now and again to wet it. Now, what his mother tried to do, what he liked the best. And he was maddened to see, have the sight of the food. He really wanted to grab that food, put it in his beak and tear it, scrap it. That was the most enjoyable moment for him, and he really wanted to do that. Ga, 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 he cried, begging her to bring him some food. Gakua, she screamed back derisively. Okay, now what do you mean by derisively? This meaning is given here in the on the side. In derisively means in a manner showing someone that she or he is stupid. Okay, she was just showing him the food, but she said that you yourself can have this, and you just come to us and have this food. Okay, but he kept calling plaintively, and after a minute or so he uttered a joyful scream. His mother had picked up a piece of fish and was flying across to him with him. As generally children do, the babies do, they keep on asking for the same thing till the mother or father, till the parent is not getting into what they want. So this seagull was also able to, according to him, he was also able to just make her mother get food to him, and he was very happy when he saw that his mother was moving forward towards him with some piece of fish in her beak, eagerly tapping the rock with his feet, trying to get nearer to her as she flew across. But when she was just opposite to him, she halted. Halted means she stopped, her wings motionless, a piece of fish in her beak, almost within reach of his beak. He waited a moment in surprise, wondering why she did not come nearer, and then, maddened by hunger, he dived at the fish. With a loud scream, he fell outwards and downwards into the space. Now what happened? This bird was on the cliff and his mother was here. Flying in the sky. She's having a piece of food in her beak, and she has come near the child, and both of them are having young seagull. This young seagull was about to take the fish from the beak of the mother, but what happened? She stopped. There it is, and she did not come closer to the child, and this child was so maddened. He was just feeling so hungry that he wanted to take this fish away and have it. So what he did, he just jumped on the fish and he found himself in the sky, and he was diving down in the sea. And now let's see what happens, whether he was able to fly or he dived into the sea. Let's see further. Then a monstrous terror seized him, and his heart stood still. He could hear nothing, but it only lasted a minute. The next moment he felt his wings spread outward. The wind rushed against his breast feathers, then under his stomach and against his wings. He could feel the tips of his wings cutting through the air. He was not falling headlong now. So now in these lines, beautifully his experience of the first flight is described here. How he felt. He just dived in to have the food, but his mother went away and he was left alone in the sky, and he was feeling very scared that what will happen. I'm going to dive into, but gradually what happened, he could spread his wings, and he could feel that the wave, or he could feel the air passing his breast, and he was feeling easy now in the sky, and this way he was able to fly in the sky. He was no longer afraid, he just felt a bit dizzy. So he he just felt he was not longer afraid of flying in the sky. He was feeling a little bit uncomfortable because he was quite at a high and he was losing one's balance. He was feeling a little dizzy and he felt as if he might fall down, but he was comfortable. That the thing he was thinking, that it is really difficult to fly, he won't be able to fly, he will that has all gone away. Now then he flapped his wings once and he soared upward. Ga 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 ga. Gakua! His mother swooped past him. So this is the young seagull, this is the mother, and she went past him. Okay, it was a way to encourage him that what he was doing is up to the mark and he can fly in the sky. This she did to encourage him. Her wings making a loud noise. He answered her with another scream. He also shouted back. His mother came past him and shouted, and he also shouted back. Then he saw his two brothers and his sister flying around him, curvetting and banking and soaring and diving. Okay, now these are a few words that are telling us telling us more about how they were flying. So curveting means leaping like a horse, banking, flying with one wing higher and the other wing lower. So they were flying like this. Okay, his flight was like this, and they were showing him that we can fly this way also, and he was really happy to fly in the sky. His parents around him, his brothers and sister around him, and they were telling him more ways to fly in the sky, and he was really happy. Then he completely forgot that he had not always been able to fly. He commanded himself to dive and soar and curve, shrinking shrilly. So he has now started enjoying his flight in the sky. He was near the sea now. Now let's see whether he was able to catch the fish like his brothers or sisters. Okay, now let's see whether he was able to do this thing. He was near the sea now, flying straight. So this is the sea. He was flying straight over it, facing straight out over the ocean. He saw a vast green sea beneath him, with little ridges moving over it. He turned his beak sideways and cawed amusedly. So these are the natural instinct that a seagull has. A seagull is very good at diving into the sea and taking out fish, and this way they survive. This is natural, that is in every seagull. So gradually this birdling was also able to experience that. His parents and his brothers and sisters had landed on the green flooring ahead of him. They were beckoning to him, calling shrilly. He dropped his legs to stand on the green sea. His legs sank into it. He screamed with fright and attempted to rise again, flapping his wings. But he was tired and weak with hunger and he could not rise. Okay, so his brother and sisters were able to float on, able to stand on the water, but he wasn't able to stand on the water. He also tried that, but he wasn't able because he was very hungry and he could not do that at that time. But he was tired and weak with hunger and he could not rise, exhausted. By the strange exercise, his feet sank into the green sea and then his belly touched it and he sank no farther. So he came to know that when his feet will be sinking in the water, but when his belly touches the water, this is water and this is his belly. When his belly touches the water, he'll float on the water. And he sank no farther. He was floating on it, and around him his family was screaming, praising him, and their beaks were offering him scraps of dogfish he had made his first flight. So The family was very happy that he has come out of his fear and he has made his first flight, and they rewarded him with some scraps of dogfish as he was hungry for a previous day. So that's all in this part of first flight. I hope that you have learnt this chapter quite well, and we will be meeting again in the next part of the chapter where we will be understanding the second part of the chapter. So bye for now, and don't forget to subscribe my channel if you haven't subscribed yet. If you have subscribed, thanks for subscribing my channel, and be there with me in all my videos for your class. Do like and share my video with your friends. Thank you. Thanks for being there with me and watching my explanation video. Bye for now, students. Let's meet in the next video.